Hello and welcome to Working Crass Podcast. This is Lauren.
Hello.
And I'm Joshua. Hello. Welcome to Africa.
Welcome to Working Crass.
This is a podcast where we just shoot the shit, talk about the horse shit going on in the world and in our lives, and just goof.
Yeah.
We just goof about it. And so that's all it is. Enjoy. The first thing... Do you smell that?
No.
Wow. It smells like pussy. Vabbing. The new trend where you use your own vaginal fluids as perfume. That's right, Lauren.
Oh, well, now that you bring this up, yeah, I do smell that.
I've been vabbing.
You've been vabbing?
I've been taking vaginal fluids of other women.
And rubbing them on?
And rubbing it on me.
Ah.
And then it is not consensual. No, I'm just joking. No, this is important, and this is by Ro White, who looks potentially like a man. Well, I guess I don't want to make assumptions here.
You're clicking on this guy to see what he looks like?
No, that's a woman. That's 11 from Stranger Things. So this is written by 11 from Stranger Things. And vabbing, the new trend where you use your own vaginal fluids as perfume. Now, would you do this?
No.
Under what circumstances would you do this?
If they said, Lauren, in order to prevent the next 9/11 from happening, you have to rub your own vaginal fluids on your person.
That's bullshit. You're a Jew. You would totally allow the next 9/11 to happen. You'd be planning the next 9/11. Well, they're asking the right question here to get started. The question we all have, what the heck is vabbing? Vabbing, a combination of the words vagina and dabbing, is the practice of wearing your own vaginal secretions as a perfume. Now, I love that they had to put secretions in there, the grossest word to include.
Yeah.
And just wait till we get to babbing. That's a combination of the words butt and dabbing. It's a practice of wearing your own anal secretions as a perfume.
Oh, God. That's just...
So why? Why vab? According to some people who vab, let's call them vabbers, dabbing a little pussy juice on your wrists and behind your ears will make you more sexually attractive to others. Supposedly, it's a pheromones thing. I love, this is journalism now. There's no source for that. There's no peer-reviewed study about how it'll make you more sexually attractive to others. The only evidence of this, supposedly, it's a pheromones thing.
Well, I like
that's
that they
the
use,
level of.
I like that they use real scientific terms like pussy juice.
Pussy juice, yeah, absolutely.
I think that's this is high level journalism. This is really well informed.
Well, I mean, this website isn't exactly the height of journalism. I mean, the other articles, my girlfriend installed my bidet while I cheered her on, a love story.
It's a Hallmark movie if I ever heard one.
Yeah. We're going to skip this TikTok because this doesn't exist anymore, apparently.
Oh, that's too bad. I would love to see what Julia has to say.
It seems like vabbing had its first big moment a few years ago thanks to a November 2018 episode of the Secret Keepers Club podcast, hosted by comedians Carly Aquilino and Emma Willman. I've heard of Emma Willman. I've never heard of Carly Aquilino.
No.
On a previous episode, the host had discussed a gay male friend who used his own genital sweat as cologne after learning about pheromones and sexual attraction. A vagina-owning listener...
Well, that's a weird...
A vagina-owning listener, or I guess you could say a female listener, but that would, I guess...
Owning makes it seem like you went out and you purchased.
I'm a proud vagina owner. I got the new model. Decided to give this technique a whirl using her own genital juices. So this is a real scientific study here. This is really going to help you out vabbing It's been scientifically proven because some girl on a podcast did it.
Yeah, we got a bunch of TikTokers to all wipe their nasty vag sweat onto their bodies, and they think they smell good.
And apparently, she got great results. I love apparently. Apparently, she got, according to what she said, she got great results.
No,
Smelled like shit, though.
Now, I thought she smelled like shit, but she said she got good results, and she is a bit of a liar, so who's to say?
Oh, jeez.
I just want to say, I think they use the term cologne very loosely.
Oh, here's where they really get into it,
Cologne, perfume, just really expanding the definition.
Oh, yeah. Very loosely. As loose as the vagina that are secreting the perfume.
Yeah, you know the people who are doing this. They got loosies.
Well, these things are just leaking.
Leaking, secreting, dribbling.
Drooling.
Yeah.
Well, this is the best. Well, does it work? Anecdotally, yeah. I love that. Anecdotally, yeah.
People say it does. I wouldn't do it, but they say it does.
Yeah.
I just don't
That's
understand, like...
Do vaccines cause autism? Anecdotally, yeah. Well, anecdotally, yeah. But scientifically, no.
Vagina havers are singing vabbing's praises.
Wow. But vabbing hasn't been researched in any formal way. So you're really just rubbing your own snatch juice all over yourself for no reason.
Well, one day our universities will come around and they'll start funding.
This will be taught in elementary schools pretty soon.
It will be put into the curriculum.
This will be New York Public School 101. This is the first thing they learn for young girls. Go ahead, vab. And young boys, too.
And you know,
because some of you boys have vaginas.
Some of you are vagina havers and owners.
Yes, that's right.
But I can imagine that the elementary teachers will be, you expect me to teach kindergartners without talking about rubbing my own vaginal secretions on my body?
Oh, man. If I met someone like this, I would not be their friend. You do what? You rub your and vice versa with the guy that said that he rubs his ball sweat on himself.
Yeah.
What? So you smell like ball sweat. Like when you smell someone, you can smell their balls. And ball sweat is a very specific smell. As are vaginal secretions.
Hey, maybe it really attracts, I don't know, like,
you know what smells good? Perfume and cologne.
Yeah. But, maybe this is for people who are really trying to, like, attract, like, a dock worker, somebody who works on the wharf, the pier.
Oh, I thought you meant like a doctor.
A fisherman. A tuna trawler.
They don't take their home with them. What, you're going to go out fishing and smelling fish all day, then you go home and your wife smells like fish too?
It just makes them feel,
No.
It's like a comforting scent. This is for those, like, those TV shows about, like, the hard Alaska crab fishers. I bet they'd love it.
It's like a gynecologist is like really into it too. He's like, hey, this smells just like my workplace. So I smell work. Damn, girl. You smell like what I do all day.
Sushi chefs. They'll be really into it.
Oh, you smell so good. Meeting you has been the highest honor. To smell you has been the highest honor. Thank you. Wow. Well, And what is Working Crass's official, because we need to, this is something our podcast doesn't do enough, and we need to start doing, making official statements on things, okay? So, like, what is our official statement on vabbing? Do we say girls go out there and vab, or do we say girls don't go out there and vab?
I say...
This is our official statement, so be careful.
This is the official Working Crass statement. And Working Crass, we endorse vabbing. We endorse it wholeheartedly.
Why? But can I add a little addition here? Why use your own? Your grandmother has perfectly good vaginal secretion.
Exactly. And you know what? She has
all that pussy juice and nowhere to put it.
Exactly.
She's not going out much. She's staying in hospice.
Your grandma only has a few more good years left in her. So do her a favor. Do her a
few more
kindness.
Good gallons of
Yeah, only a few more good
juice.
gallons. You want to like take out like those like red gas canisters, take it to your grandma, fill them up, put them in your garage, and store that vab juice and rub it all over you. Give it to your friends,
bathe in it,
your neighbors.
Keep a constant vab bath.
You know how like they
a
use,
bath.
a bath, a vab bath, a bath,
which is a vat of vabbing juice.
Yeah. You know how they used to say
from your grandmother.
You know how they used to say, like, old-timey trick to get, like, a baby to sleep is you'd, like, rub a little whiskey on its gums or something?
Oh, yeah. A little bit of grandma's...
a little bit of grandma's vab juice on your baby. Put him right to sleep.
Oh, my God.
Put him right to sleep. He'll sleep like a little angel.
If you're a single woman, you're fat, you're just big... Can't get out the door because you can't fit through the door.
You're 600 pounds.
And men
you're
are just
sweaty.
not.
You're crusty.
Yeah. You're balding. You have a beard. You're kind of hairy.
You're covered in acne.
Your tits are lopsided. They're not, and you just can't find that man. Don't worry. You don't have to lose weight or fix any of those problems. Just reach your hand down into your grandma's pants.
And slather that secretion all over your big fat face.
It should be thick. It should be like the goo when they walk through Ghosts and Ghostbusters, and there's just
it
like
should be like
goo
a really
that's there.
good mayonnaise.
It should be. Do we have any of that goo over there? We'll do that another time. But that's what it should look like.
We do.
Like Nickelodeon goo that you order on Amazon that you play with. That's what it should look like when you pull your hand out of your grandma's pants.
Yeah. And she's got a lot of it, and really, you just want to make your grandma happy. They want to do kind things for you. They want attention.
They want to provide for their grandkids.
Exactly.
And they can provide future healthy relationships with you covered in the juices of your grandmother.
Yeah. So because Working Crass, we support grandmas.
Yes.
And so by extension, we support vabbing.
Remind me to edit in before this segment. If any of my family members are listening, turn this off. This isn't the one to listen to. No, I'm not editing that in. Well, cool. That's as much as I think we can get out of that one. But this. Wait a minute. You smell that? It's something a little different.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
And it's almost like I don't smell it out of my nose. I smell it through my ass. Because pigs can breathe through their buttholes, and so could you, scientists say. Clinical human... Now, this one's even more scientific than the last one, I'll just say. Clinical human trials of the intestinal breathing method could start as early as this year.
And I just have to say, why? Why would you want to?
I love the picture of the pig farting underwater.
It's just like, just because you could breathe out your butthole, why?
Yeah.
Why is that something you desire?
Well, I mean, I can breathe out my butthole. Will you read the first sentence of this article? Because I love it.
Pink, fleshy, and round. The anus has a lot in common with the mouth, and is every bit as important.
But the similarities don't just stop there. Buttholes can also help animals breathe, a new research suggests. A team of scholars in Japan has found that pigs can absorb oxygen through the anus in studies exploring treatment for people with respiratory conditions. First we blow a bunch of air up a pig asshole. We had to figure out if the pig absorbed the oxygen of the air we blow up his asshole.
There's just one weirdo who's been like, what are you studying, Bobby? And he's just like, I love the pig assholes.
Pig ass.
I've been looking up this pig's anus for 17 days.
I'm doing some really groundbreaking research on pig ass. I'm really excited because, me and my team are doing some really earth-shattering research on pig ass. Have you heard of it? Pig ass? Basically, like, it's a pig's ass.
I'm trying to see if I can get somebody to breathe out their butthole by making a pig breathe out its butthole.
I blow a bunch of air up it, and then usually the air comes back out in kind of like a manner. And I think if that happens, that means it's breathing. And if it's breathing, then maybe I can make humans do it too. By pumping oxygen and oxygenated liquid through animals' buttholes into their intestines, the researchers found that they could survive without breathing through their lungs. So that means that in this experiment, they definitely would have had to, like, make sure the animals can't breathe through their lungs. So they had to, like, close their, like...
Yes, they suffocated a pig.
Suffocated the animals and blew air up their ass.
Until it exploded.
And the animals were like,
out.
I guess I could kind of breathe this, but I'd rather breathe the normal way. It's so impressive because I never thought of breathing from the gut, but it's possible. Takanori Takebe, an author in the study and a doctor at the Tokyo Medical and Dental University, told Vice World News. Last year, his team and collaborators from Nagoya University Graduate School and blah, 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 Department of Respiratory Surgery published their study focusing on mice. Now they're looking to submit their research on pigs, which are closer to humans in physiology and genetic makeup.
Yeah, because they said the mice buttholes are just too dang small.
They're so small. I can't get the little holes in.
Too small. Too small.
Too small. Doesn't work.
We need bigger hole.
Oh, my God.
Well, at least based on the evidence that I've seen from the past 4 years of people on social media, I would say, people talk out their buttholes, so...
That's correct.
I guess breathing isn't a far stretch.
People love to talk out their ass, so...
Yeah. So why not breathe out it?
This study has implications for treating patients who suffer from respiratory failure. Open your ass! Quick!
I'd hate to be the guy who has to do mouth to mouth.
Yeah, mouth to ass. Ass to mouth. That's what it's called. ATM, ass to mouth.
You're the lifeguard that has to resuscitate this person.
This will be the new addition to CPR classes. Now you get to learn the ass to mouth method. First, turn the body around. Second, spread the cheeks. Third,
do you still
you need to make sure to complete the seal, okay? You want to complete the seal around the hole. And 4, blow for your life.
You want to...
Fast, hard breaths.
Yeah, you want to do fast, hard breaths pumping into the anus to the beat of staying alive.
When I did the CPR class, one of the things was they were like, when you give CPR, you will break the ribs, which I didn't know, and that scared the shit out of me. If I ever have to do it, you will break that person's ribs, but you have to do it to circulate the blood. And so in this situation, you will get shit in your mouth. If you do the ass to mouth method, they will poop in your mouth.
They will.
100% of the time. It always happens. They poop in your mouth. But they need the oxygen. This is the only situation where they're going to get the oxygen. So you're going to get a little poop in your mouth. Don't be afraid. That's normal. You will get poop in your mouth. Don't be afraid. That's normal.
They're going to have to figure something out for, planes, when the oxygen masks drop down.
Yeah.
They're going to have some that, have much longer cordage so it can reach your asshole.
Yep. Oh, my God. So normally when a patient needs oxygen, doctors opt for mechanical ventilation, in which a machine pushes air into the lungs and through the windpipe. This procedure carries the risk of bleeding and blood clots. And as many emergency rooms saw during the early stages of COVID-19 pandemic, it's not always possible to get your hands on a ventilator. With this in mind, Takebe thought, why not try the back door? We keep pumping the air into these people's esophaguses and lungs. Have we tried sticking that cord up their ass?
So what we learned throughout the COVID-19 pandemic is that
we can breathe through our ass.
Humans are so fat that when they get this disease, it wreaks havoc on their lungs. But you know the one thing that these bodies have that is ripe is those big old assholes. So
you get to turn to the doctor and be like, "Are you just blowing smoke up my ass?"
I'm going to turn you. I'm going to turn you over. Breathe.
Oh man. Well, I've always thought that my ass could breathe because sometimes my ass coughs. So. All right, let's move on from this one here. Our next video is interesting and kind of sad. This one makes me sad.
Yeah, this is wild. This has been going around the internet for a little bit. The original video was taken down.
Yeah.
But we found somebody else had uploaded it, so we thought it was worth bringing up because
shedding some light on.
Yeah, it's wild. This is wild.
This exists. And this is fun. I'll bring something up in a minute. But.
Folks, my name is Miranda. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a licensed professional counselor and sex therapist in Erie, Pennsylvania. And today I want to talk about minor attracted persons. And I want to talk about minor attracted persons because they are probably the most vilified population of folks in our culture. And
they're super vilified. They people say horrible things about them, like they have sex with kids. And yes, that's true, they do. But that's not the problem we're talking about here. It's crazy. They're vilified. Yeah.
They should be.
Yeah.
They should be.
For a reason, yes.
Explain why.
Yes.
What are they doing to make themselves vilified?
These poor people are vilified. These poor innocent people that are trying to abuse children.
Most folks are making incorrect assumptions about them without actually knowing much about them. And those assumptions create harm for an already marginalized population. You may have noticed that I'm using the term minor attracted persons, sometimes abbreviated to MAPS, instead of the more commonly used term pedophile. And I'm doing this because the term pedophile has moved from being a diagnostic label to being a judgmental, hurtful insult that we heard.
Remember last week's episode when we were watching Sarah Silverman and she was telling us that calling anybody in the LGBT community a groomer is
calling anybody in the LGBTQ community, but specifically calling out people who keep wanting to talk about sex and teach non-age appropriate sex education to children.
Yes,
groomers.
Yes, and this is a sex therapist, so. Somebody who...
This is a sex therapist who I'm guessing is not having a lot of sex.
That's completely agree. This is 11 from Stranger Things. And
for those of you just listening, this is an older, very bald woman with glasses.
11.
It's 11.
It's L.
It's L. It's L if she was like in her 50s
and woke and never got married.
And decided she really potentially has some.
But no, remember when Sarah Silverman was mad at conservatives who would point this kind of stuff out and then be like, "You're the perverts." She's like, you're perverts. Perverts! It's like she has no idea that this kind of thing exists. And this isn't new. I've seen shit like this. Several in the last few years. Like, I mean, it's shocking to, like, see, but I see this kind of stuff argued online all the time now in these communities. I mean, like, yes, people like Babylon Bee and like other conservative sites are usually the ones to point it out, but that's because, you know, liberal media doesn't want to point it out. They don't want you to know that there's crazies on both sides. They want you to know that there's only crazies on one side.
Yeah.
Same reason why conservative media won't show you the crazies on their side. They won't report on the wild racist morons on their side, but the left will. And so really you kind of like get put in a situation where you have to consume media from both sides, even like, and you're going to get shitty stuff on both sides as well. But if you want to know everything that happened, well, anything that makes the left look bad is not going to be reported by the left, and anything that makes the right look bad is not going to be reported by the right. So you can't just stick with one side. You need to know everything that's happening.
Yeah.
Anyway, pedophiles.
But I like that, you know, if you change the name of something,
Yeah.
it means that they're not doing bad things anymore.
We have to stop calling them pedophiles, because when you think of a pedophile, you think of like this person who, is a danger to children and molests, what's the word? Children. And
that would be true.
That would all be true, but it's like you shouldn't. It's the negative connotation that's bad. It's like saying that like molesting children is like bad would be a bad thing.
Yeah, and it's not bad.
That's the only logical conclusion.
It is
to
bad,
this.
but it's like not bad.
But it's like not bad. Like we can't shame in it.
Hurl at people in order to harm them or slander them. I also prefer person first language that recognizes that any label we might apply to a person is only part of who they are and doesn't represent everything that they are. We are all people first with many different facets or parts of ourselves, and this includes folks who are attracted to minors.
This is all just nonsense.
So to start with, let's talk about what a minor attracted person is or who they are. This term simply means that the person has an enduring sexual or romantic attraction to minors.
Oh, well, sums it up for me.
Yep. That's all I need to know.
Oh, a pedophile? Like, Jesus Christ, this is insane.
It's like the thing that George Carlin used to talk about with like how over time we soften language. We continuously soften it to the point that it becomes so distant from the original meaning that people can't like, we stop to like comprehend things and take them as seriously because they're so like clinical and dry and removed of that meaning. And it's like, I think in this case, there should be a negative connotation associated with that because they're doing a negative, disgusting, vile thing.
Yeah, that's true.
They should be vilified.
That's true. That's true. And don't like also the left has plenty of words that they like to use to vilify people. Just saying, like there's lots of words like they don't say racist person because I'd like to acknowledge that racist isn't all you are. You are also a person just like anybody else. No, it's when it's racist, it's you're a racist or fascist. Fascist
yeah, they always say
person.
fascist. They never say Trump-attracted person.
Yeah, exactly. I prefer Trump-attracted person.
They've not chosen this attraction, just as the rest of us have not chosen whatever our attraction is. You don't get to choose to be heterosexual or to be gay or whatever you are. And you don't get to choose to be a minor attracted person. Some minor attracted persons are attracted to a specific age range of minors, while some are not. And some minor attracted persons are exclusively attracted to minors and are not attracted to adults at all. Some minor attracted persons are also attracted to adults.
All right. That's pretty wild.
It's so wild. Wild that we have to consider the plight of the pedophile. We've gone so far in protecting people's feelings that now we need to protect the feelings of people doing criminal acts that destroy a child's well-being.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
And
like
I don't want to be like, oh, that's everybody on the left. They agree with that. It's like,
no,
I think
that's Looney Tune people
Yes.
off in Fantasyland.
yes, exactly. Same thing as you got, a Klan member in Kentucky that like is a big Trump fan. It's like you can't use him to represent everybody who's a fan of Trump either. I can't use that one pedophile lover to represent all of the left or anybody in the LGBT community. You can't use one crazy to lump everybody into a group.
Yeah, to generalize.
Yes, so I don't ever mean to generalize. At
Except
least I don't.
when it comes
at least
to pedophiles,
at least,
then I will generalize.
At least to quote a great comedian, Sarah Silverman, I don't feel like I'm generalizing. So, well, that was pretty wild. And if you want to hear more crazy, wild stories like that and us laughing and making fun of people who think that that's okay, then check us out on Instagram at Working Crass Pod. We are always talking about some horse shit going on in the world or in our lives. And go check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. Or just follow us on Instagram. Those are the two options there. But next time, I'm going to start just giving you one option only, a direct call to action, and that's go follow the Instagram, and then we can work from there.
And we also encourage you, please use people first language.
Please use people first language. If you're going to call somebody a pedophile, stop yourself and think, hey, how would that make the pedophile feel? Mm-hmm. They are a minor attracted person. Now, let's get to the story of the century. I mean, this is very, very important. This is the journalism that we need today. And I'm so happy that we're reading this. Are minions a symbol of the proletariat? And now we're getting to the real questions about society and like what kind of corrupt systems are we living under? These power systems that are just crushing us. Are minions a great symbol of the proletariat? What do you think?
Our greatest philosophers and our greatest economists are all putting their minds together to determine whether or not the minions are the proletariat. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they say, yes, they are.
Now, explain for those people listening, what the proletariat is.
The proletariat is the working class.
That's correct. And what would the opposite of the proletariat be?
The bourgeoisie.
The bourgeoisie. That's correct. And would that be Gru? Would Steve Carell's Gru be?
The Gru-geoisie.
The Gru-geoisie. Oh, my God. Let's see here.
The only maps I care about are minions attracted persons.
Oh, my God. So minions are sort of inescapable. Jennings said on this week's episode of Don't Let This Flop, Rolling Stone's podcast devoted to internet culture. Blah. If you were online in certain spaces where there were a lot of people who you wouldn't really associate with real internet culture, like Facebook moms and people who use Pinterest instead of Instagram, you'd see a lot of memes where there would just be like a picture of a minion and some kind of hacky joke attached to it. This is true. You could put whatever you want on them. There's sort of this perfect meme where they don't really mean anything, so they can be anything. That's going to be the crux of the whole article here, is they don't really mean anything, so they can be what I say they are.
I think that was also the crux of that sex therapist's argument, right?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, my God. Jennings decided to look at this is the best. This is the best. Jennings decided to look at the minions with a more critical eye, referring to academic articles about the proto-capitalist implications of the characters and how they serve as slaves to the billionaire class who are unable to rise up from the oppressive systems.
You know, this is really good. I'm glad that American universities are really devoting a lot of their time, funding, and resources to exploring the depths of the minions and their meanings.
Yep. I'm working on some really groundbreaking research with my team about the minions.
We got one guy, he's looking at pig assholes. We got another guy looking at minions.
The professor of the class was just like, my students are morons.
This is how you know there's like nothing left to complain about. That we've gotten too comfortable in society. We've solved the major problems. That the only thing left to explore is the movie Minions.
Yeah, our minions. A symbol of the proletariat.
Like, that's all we have left. That's how comfortable we live in this society.
It occurred to her that the minions could perhaps be co-opted by the left as a totem for labor activism, the same way the left has kind of co-opted Gritty, the Philadelphia Flyers mascot, as a symbol of the working class and leftism, she says, which I wasn't aware of. I didn't know that Gritty was also a symbol.
So here's the thing that I find really interesting with a lot of academics is that really you can pick almost any character, any like sports mascot, any little, cartoon character and say it's a symbol of the working class.
Yeah.
And people go, yeah.
Well, Barney the dinosaur, though, that is a symbol.
He is the symbol of the working class.
Yes. Because he was a hardworking black man who
taught children that sharing is caring and helping, and we're all doing it together. I love you, you love me.
Yes, but also
he's building a collective society of
humans. It was
humans.
also about like the corrupt, police system and policing in black neighborhoods. And if you go back and watch Barney, it's a lot of that is it's kind of like watching Roots.
It really is. If you watch Barney from start to finish, it is the story of Roots. It's the subtext.
And also, obviously, like Teen Titans, that's a story of the proletariat.
Go through all the Titans for me?
Oh, well, just Teen Titans. I don't know. I just watched a couple episodes.
Because they're teens and they're rising up. And
exactly, that's correct. That's correct. They're taking their power back.
They're taking their power back, and they're almost forming like a Titan-sized teen union.
Yes. Trump is kind of a sign of the proletariat.
He is a symbol of the working class, is he not?
He's a symbol of the working class. He built himself up from being
rich,
$1 million
from $1 million to one. We don't really know.
Yeah, we're not sure. Nobody knows. Some people estimate small, some people estimate huge.
But it can mean anything you want it to mean.
It means anything.
Yeah, so
That's correct.
Just keep that in mind.
The problem with the minions is the film kind of cast them as these bumbling idiots who are just so desperate to serve a master and are too stupid to realize they're being used as pawns. So I think there's a way for the left to be like, we have to free the minions. We must free the minions.
They do know that minions aren't real, correct?
No. What's the difference, Lauren? We live in the digital age. Everything that exists digitally is reality. Because, what are we looking at here? If we didn't turn on this TV screen to read this article, if we didn't turn on the technology to read it...
We'd be sitting here breathing out our assholes.
Exactly. It's about time. I've been holding in a breath.
This whole show.
I've been holding in a breath the whole show.
We've been clenching our cheeks, keeping our breaths in.
Can I breathe yet?
I think because we are working Crass,
yes.
I think we should be front runners in the cartoon liberation movement.
Well, we should create our own symbols of the proletariat cartoons. We should just really not even hide the symbolism. We'll call the show Proletariat.
Yeah.
Make these little cartoon characters. They're all dusty and poor.
They all breathe out their buttholes. The bourgeoisie gets to breathe out their mouths, but the working class has to breathe out their buttholes.
Breathing out your hole, I see, chum. Must be sad to be a member of the proletariat.
Must be sad to be such a filthy peasant who can only breathe out their anus.
I'm a member of the Gru-geoisie.
That's got to be the title of this episode.
I don't even know how I'm going to spell that. No one's going to know what that is. The Gru-geoisie. Oh, my God.
No, we'll figure something out.
I love this. I love this. On this week's episode of Don't Let This Flop, co-hosts, whatever, invited Jennings to discuss the Minions and their iconic role in internet culture. They also discussed Justin Timberlake's cultural downfall, VidCon, an OnlyFans couple who may or may not be sisters, and Himbo, the Himbo of the week, Robert Irwin, and his polite rejection of horny TikTok fans.
Good. They're
talking about the real stories. As a matter of fact, these are all things I would like to talk about on Working Crass podcast.
Yeah. They're doing it right.
An OnlyFans couple who may or may not be sisters.
How did we not hear about this?
That's great. And how do we not know about Himbo of the week? Wait, an OnlyFans couple who may or may not be sisters. Man, that's gross. Where can I find What's the URL?
Asking for a friend.
Ooh, that's horrible. And where would one find that?
Oh, nasty, dude.
Let me see. Oh, man, that's gross. I would never want to see anything like that. Hey, I'll be right back. I got to go to the restroom.
I'm just going to grab this lotion with me. I got dry hands.
Can I bring your laptop? Oh, man. And I love, Robert Irwin and his polite rejection of horny TikTok fans. Isn't Robert Irwin Steve Irwin's son?
I hope so.
Because there are, I guess, a lot of videos of him on TikTok. I didn't know he had a horny TikTok fan. That's hilarious.
I mean, I would say Steve Irwin was a himbo, so it makes sense that his son would follow in his footsteps.
What is a himbo?
I believe a himbo.
Like a bimbo?
It's a man bimbo.
Oh. Maybe
it's a hunky bimbo. It's a himbo.
I think we said himbo in one of our episodes even.
I felt like we came up with that term.
I think we did come up with himbo.
I think these guys are Working Crass fans.
We got some Working Crass fans at Rolling Stone. Thank you guys. You know what? You guys are great journalists. Don't pay any attention to the fact we're making fun of our minions, a symbol of the proletariat. You're great journalists. I mean, look, they all wear overalls, work in the same factory. Like I guess in a way you could say that that's what they are, but they're called minions. They're the minions of the evil, like, supervillain. The supervillain has his minions. It's pretty simple, I think. There's not a lot to look into.
I think it's...
Somebody went to this person who wrote this went to the movie theater and they watched Minions, and Minions are like banana, and the guys like and the guys at the theater goes, there's something here.
He was taking notes.
Yeah, banana. There's something.
Banana, bourgeoisie.
Yeah,
banana.
So they must be hungry. They must be going hungry. They're obsessed with bananas. They work all day. They don't make minimum wage. And they're not diverse. That should be the next article. Why aren't the minions more diverse? Where are the black
minions?
We had all these yellow minions. Where are the black and brown minions?
It's time that black and brown minions have their minion voices heard.
They all look like little Simpsons characters because they're yellow.
Yeah, they do.
Anyway, they should have one.
Astute observation. Are you a Minions researcher?
Yeah, I am a Minions researcher. They should have a Homer minion. I'm sure that somebody's made that at some point. Anyway, that's it. What did you learn today?
What did I learn? I learned that in order to avoid hurting people's feelings,
Yes.
you should really think about the language that you use to describe them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Words like pedophile can be really hurtful.
yeah, pedophile can be a very hurtful word.
Yeah.
And so you should never say it.
Mm-hmm.
You should never ever say it. And we need to make a better effort to think about our words.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking
About each of your words very carefully.
I'm thinking about each
and
every
to I think words to Let's try that again, Lauren. What did you learn?
I learned that I'm failing to get enough oxygen because I'm trying to breathe out my butthole, but it just won't come out, and it's making me not think good.
Never hold in the air from your hole, okay?
Yeah.
It'll make you not think good.
That's what I really learned.
I learned that in my lifetime, there's been some great achievements in science. The cell phone, the internet, the portable laptop, and 5G, 6G, whatever's next. Microchip technologies. And then, when you think they can't go any further, the advancements in the studies of pig ass and minions have just blown me away. And it's incredible what the next generation... I want to know what the next generation is going to study,
The next generation is going to study whether or not minions can breathe out their buttholes.
Minion pig ass. They'll make little minion pigs and see if they can...
And if they can get the little minion pigs to breathe out their buttholes, then there's a fair chance that the minions themselves can also breathe out their own anuses.
But another important question, do the minions have buttholes? Do minions have buttholes? Is another good title of an episode.
Well, that's probably the first question they should. That's the preliminary research question, is that.
We're trying to figure out if they're a symbol of the proletariat. Now, first question, do they have buttholes?
That's good.
All right.
Good.
Goodbye.
Bye.